So are the giant aliens really the Furling? You'll find out right after this. Hey everybody, I am Taylor and I'm the Stargate Guy, where I talk to you about everything and anything Stargate. Today's another crazy theory, and we're going to examine a popular one that has been showing up in the comments of this channel. And that would be, the giant aliens are actually the Furling. This has been a rather popular theory that got its start from a Stargate novel, City of the Gods. This is a novel that takes place during Season 5 of Stargate SG-1. This draws a direct link between the Furlings and these giant aliens, and how these giant aliens are responsible for distributing some humans across the galaxy to keep them away from the Goa'uld, and having their own crystal skull network of transportation to separate itself from the Stargate system that was used by the Goa'uld. This references a couple of different things. One, it states that the language of the giant aliens are very similar to that of the Furlings, and very similar to the languages that branched off from that is connected to a couple of different human species. It also states that the giant aliens, one thing for sure, is that they are enemies of the Goa'uld, which is also suspected that the Furlings are against the Goa'uld since they teamed up with 3 other races who oppose that same species. Another connection is simply that we don't really know too much about them, therefore it is quite possible that they are the Furlings since we don't know too much about them as well. However, the biggest connection is with the novel City of the Gods. Now, this novel was not actually written by any of the writers or producers of the Stargate franchise. The book company was licensed out the Stargate name by MGM, who holds the licensing for the Stargate franchise, and that author and that publicist never really consulted the writers or the publishers when creating a series of Stargate books, making this book not canon, more like an apocrypha, kind of like a fan book or a fan story, or like one of my theories. It's loosely based in fact and evidence, but it is not strictly speaking canon. It's more of a commentary on canon. However, I hate to burst your guys' bubble, but the giant aliens are definitely not the Furling. We do have some evidence of this. For example, we do have that the producers themselves clearly stated that we had not seen the Furling on camera. We have just seen their technology and references to the Furling. Since we saw the giant aliens on camera, that doesn't really make them Furling. We also know that there was no language inside of the temple during the actual episode of Crystal Skull. In fact, Daniel Jackson makes special note that there is no language in the temple, therefore no language could possibly be similar to the Furling language because we distinctly know what that looks like. We also know that the Furlings use modes of transportation that is not Crystal Skull related and that does not use that lepton radiation. In the episode Paradise Lost, we clearly see a form of transportation that does not need lepton radiation and had no reference to a Crystal Skull at all. We also know that the giant aliens appeared as rather gaseous creatures, and that the Furlings had more of a physical shape. We saw their remnants in the episode Paradise Lost. We did not see any giant gaseous creature remains at all. So according to evidence that I talked about in this video and this video, as well as the final nail in the coffin being directly from Joseph Malzini's blog, from May 15th, 2011. This guy was a executive producer on all of the Stargate shows. During a Q&A section of the blog, quote, "Oldie but goodie, Daniel's grandfather Nicholas Ballard, those aliens he is with, were they the Furlings or even Faith aliens or something else, and why didn't they get another story about him? Answer, definitely not Furling. We never did another story about him because, alas, no one came up with a good story idea that would have included him." Plus, that there is very little evidence to support that they are actually linked to the Furling. These giant aliens are not the Furling at all. They are a completely different species. And the suspect of this was brought up in a Apocrypha book, not actual Stargate canon. Now, it is great that this book is around and that it tells a good story. It definitely does support the Stargate franchise, which I am all in favor for. So if you like the book, let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know if you think the giant aliens are still the Furling. Let me know in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. Great videos are coming out every week where I talk to you about everything and anything Stargate. You can click right here for another crazy theory, or you can click right here for some more Stargate awesomeness. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side.